Hello and welcome back to Darshan channel. Today in this video we are going to discuss indirect proof of validity. So indirect proof of validity क्या है? It is a method used in logic to show an argument is valid by assuming the opposite of what we are trying to prove and then showing that the assumption leads to a contradiction. So this form or this basis is called the indirect proof of validity, a reduction ad absurdum या proof by contradiction. So इसमें basically करते क्या है? What is the method? So method में we assume that we assume the negation of the conclusion. जो भी आपका conclusion given है उसका हम लोग negation assume करते हैं and by doing that if we get a contradiction, let's suppose आपका आता है a dot negation of a, ठीक है, by assuming the negation of the conclusion, if we get a contradiction, if it derives a contradiction, that means that the original जो आपका argument है वो valid है. So this can be explained by many example. So let's take the first example. First example में let's take a wedge b dot c and then next है a horseshoe c and then आपका conclusion आ जाता है therefore c. So conclusion is c. So first, second premise, and in third what we will be doing is we will be taking the negation of the conclusion. So negation of the conclusion is negation of c, and then you have to mention it also that you are assuming the indirect proof. So यहाँ पे assuming indirect proof you have to mention it, and then by the use of 19 rules you simply have to solve. So let's say negation C आया, that means by using the second and third, इसमें if we use modus tollens then we'll get negation of A. And in the next case if we use first and fourth में disjunctive syllogism, then what we'll be getting is B dot C. Now moving to the next one, we can do C dot B in 5 commutation करके, and then last में you can do simplification. So by 6 में simplification करने से आपका ये आ जाता है, and then 8 में you have negation of C dot C. So negation of C 7,3 में आपने conjunction कर दिया. So यहाँ पे what we have is a contradiction. So you have negation C dot C. That means जो आपका conclusion given था, already conclusion given था, वो आपका original जो conclusion था वो valid था. So simply write third से लेके 8 तक IP indirect proof, and then just show it third से लेके 8 तक IP. So in similar way you have to solve the question. Let's take another example. We have G wedge H, horseshoe negation of G, and यहाँ से आपका conclusion आ जाता है negation of G. So this is your first. Second में what we have to do is we have to take the negation of the conclusion. Negation G, because there's already one negation, so we'll be taking negation of G. In the next part we can use modus tollens again. So if you'll see this and negation G we already have, तो यहाँ पे modus tollens लग के आपका negation of G wedge H आ जाएगा. And then again we can use De Morgan negation G dot negation of H, meaning second में आपने De Morgan use किया, and then उसके बाद what you can do is you can simply write negation of G here. 4 में आपने simplification कर दिया. Moving to the next, if you see here we have negation G dot negation G. So you have taken the fifth and second and इसमें आपने conjunction कर दिया. The last step is simply write the conclusion which is negation G, and then you can write second से लेके 6 में you have used IP. Second से 6 तक IP. So basically it's very easy. You have to do the negation of the conclusion And then by using the 19 rules, simply use the 19 rules to find a contradiction. आपने जैसे contradiction find किया, simply write negation G, meaning that जो आपका original given conclusion है, that is valid. So some of the questions are easy, but you might find some questions which are lengthy as well. So let's see this particular question. So this question is a bit lengthy. O wedge P, and then you have horseshoe D dot E, and then next है E wedge L, horseshoe Q wedge negation of D. Next is Q wedge Z, horseshoe negation of O dot E. So this is your first, second and third. And the conclusion is a simple one, therefore negation of O. So your first step again would be assuming the negation O, assuming the indirect proof. Once you have done that, so you can do simply write O, and you have used form में double negation. Double negation के बाद if you'll see we have O wedge P here, so you simply write O wedge P. 5 में addition आपने किया, and then उसके बाद you got D dot E by using modus ponens, and then उसके बाद you get the commutation. Why we are doing commutation? Because E wedge L कर सकते हैं, and then E में आपके पास यहाँ पे है, इसलिए we are using commutation. And then you can do simplification. 8 में you have done simplification, and then 10 में you can do E wedge L. E wedge L meaning that you have again done addition over here, and then again you can use the same formula of modus ponens which we have done in the other case as well. जैसे आपका second and 10 में आपने modus ponens use किया. Now you have Q wedge negation of D, and then next आपका 12 है. 12 में what you can do is negation D wedge Q. So आपने 11 में commutation कर दिया, and then 13 में you can simply write that D horseshoe Q. 12 में you have used implication here. Next you have the 14th step. 14th step में by using 14th, by using the so you have already got D horseshoe Q. So D horseshoe Q के बाद again you can use modus ponens here. You have D horseshoe Q, and यहाँ पे you have D, so you can do a simplification first. 7th का simplification, and then you can get 15th में Q by using 13th and the 14th. You can use modus ponens over here, and you can get Q. So once you have Q, you can again add Z, Q wedge Z, meaning that आपने 15 में addition किया, and then 17th में again you use the same modus ponens formula. So you use 3rd comma 16 में MP, and then 18th में negation O dot negation E, 17th में De Morgan, 17, 18, 19, 19th में okay it should be wedge actually. De Morgan कर दिया, wedge आपका पास आ गया, and then you already have E. You already have E, so you can just write negation E wedge negation O. Again 18 में commutation, then 20 you have negation E over here and E here, so you'll get negation of O by using disjunctive syllogism in 19th, and 9 में disjunctive syllogism. 21th we have negation of O, and O here. So you can do negation O dot O meaning 20 comma 5 में conjunction, and then last में you can simply write on 21 negation of O by from 14 till 21 IP कर सकते हैं. So if you see, it's quite lengthy of 21. Here's another question जहाँ पे we have just two premises, and based on the premises what we have to do is you have to find the negation of the conclusion by using IP, indirect proof, and then you have to solve till 12, and then next 24, and then 33. So it's in 33 steps in total. So if you are able to solve in a shorter way, please let me know in the comment section. So I'll just point out what we have done. We have first taken the negation of the conclusion, and after taking the negation of conclusion, implication is used, and then De Morgan, and then we have simplified double negation. Further, what we have used is 1 and 7 में modus ponens, commutation, simplification, De Morgan again. यहाँ पे we have used De Morgan, and then again double negation over here. उसके बाद what you have done is addition, implication, De Morgan, double negation, commutation, distribution, simplification, and यहाँ पे we have taken this whole as P, and this as Q, and this as R, and we have used distribution here. After distribution, simplification, and then again association, because we already have negation of T, so we are trying to find T which U which negation of it. ये T है, we already have negation of T, so we can use disjunctive syllogism here. So again we have done commutation, simplification, the similar tarika, although the steps are more, but the question itself is not that difficult. So similarly you have used disjunctive syllogism, again commutation, simplification, and we have used hypothetical syllogism, implication, simplification, modus ponens, and finally we have a contradiction over here. So once we have a contradiction, यहाँ पे you can write from 3 से लेके 32 तक, you have simply used IP here. So although this question is quite lengthy, but the steps are easy. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share and subscribe.